What if I told you that there is a way in which you could read a book in about 3 to 4 hours flat and remember the contents for the rest of your life? Sounds unbelievable? Just follow me for this 6-step process. Before we begin, I want to give you a caveat. This method of reading, which is also known as photo reading, is not meant for appreciating fine poetry. Say a book by Rumi, it's not meant for that kind of reading. This is meant when you have to acquire the knowledge in a very short time. So first step is to pick a book whose subject would have a major impact on the success of your career or your life or whatever. So it's something that you need to be really passionate about. The second step is to become familiar with the content of the book. A very simple process. First, pick up the book, take a look at the cover, take a look at the back, see what the author is promising you at the end of reading the book. Go to a platform like Amazon, look for the reviews of that book over there. And some of them are pretty detailed. By the time you read about 5 or 6 reviews, it's almost as if you have spoken to about 4 or 5 people who have read the book and taken the pains to actually write the review. Usually they are serious readers. The third step, especially in these days of social media, any author worth her salt would have done a TED talk or a talk on any other platform, which would give you the crux of the book. When an author is doing a TED talk, then she has to entice you enough for you to be able to read the book. So by the time you have finished the reviews, you have listened to a couple of audible chapters and you have watched the TED talk by the author herself, you now have a very good idea about what the book's contents are, what is the intent of the writer, and what are the major 4 or 5 points that the author is trying to communicate through the book. Now comes the part where you actually skim through the book. Here the intent is not to read. It's just to flip 1 by 1 pages, just to become familiar with the book. You're just going to literally look at each page from top to bottom. You spend maybe a fraction of a second looking at it, and that's about it. When you finish this process, it should take you not more than about 5 to 10 minutes to skim through every page. You might even want to repeat it. To my mind, a couple of times is enough. When you start reading it, you will find that when you proceed after a page or two, you will suddenly see a headline that you were familiar with or an image that you saw earlier. And because you heard the author talk about the book, it's almost as the author is sitting by your side when you're reading, guiding you towards the content that is going to come up next. Lastly, the best way to really absorb the content of the book is to create a lot of underlines, notes, annotations. You have to personalize the book. If you follow this 6-step process, trust me, even if you think you're a slow reader, you will improve your reading speed exponentially. Try this method and let me know if it works for you in the comments.